Okay, this will be an interesting one. This one reminds me of companies like Konica Minolta. So this will be a real Japanese piece. Of course, I'm sure it has nothing to do with Konica Minolta, but I just associate it with that, maybe because it's really Japanese. I don't know how big we're going to make it, but basically it does remind me of Konica. It does have a Konica Minolta flavour to it, you could say. It's like that. It's got that feeling of Konica fucking Minolta. I don't know which colour we're going to use for this. Going with red. But yeah, it is. It's a real Japanese piece. I don't like Konica. I don't like the company. I'd like to go to Japan, actually. That would be an interesting place to visit, to see the technology, even though the technology's not up to scratch. It's all throwaway, plasticky shit. I used to think Tokyo was a real technology, like a technopolis, as is the song by Yellow Magic Orchestra. But basically it's not as technopolis as I would like it to be. I've got big plans for technology and I don't like what is currently available. Anyway, let's see what this is. This is a piece of origami paper. So origami is a very Japanese activity, origami. But basically, yeah, technology isn't as good as it should be. And I'm thinking it's A5 vertical. So we're going to make the vertical a little bit smaller and the horizontal is at 200. So it looks like we've got it almost right. I'm just going to be a little bit fussy and I'm going to put in 141.4, and for the horizontal we're going to make it 200. So yeah. But yeah, it's really not as high tech. I've got a dream of building a new generation of copier system that uses artificial intelligence, not this manual shit. And basically, I want to make this a machine that lasts 60 years with parts, service and supplies available to the photocopier for 60 years. So it's got to last 60 years instead of the usual 5 years. And we're going to use a whole lot less plastic. In fact, the machine on the inside and the outside will be made primarily with aircraft grade aluminium. None of this plasticky shit. It's got to last and it's got to be good for the planet. So the actual machine will be designed to be recycled a lot easier than the machines of today. They're going to be easy to recycle. The composition of the machine will be mostly made from recycled materials, like from places like China and India, where there's huge amounts of e-waste being dumped, primarily from first world countries. So we have to think about cleaning up our planet when we build this thing. And also the workers are going to be, our workforce manufacturing will all be done on Australian soil. No made in China, no made in Vietnam like this equipment, or even made in Japan, because even Japanese workers get overworked too much. We don't want slaves or people who've been overworked, and we want to make jobs for Australian people. Manufacturing back on our shores, folks. Of course we're going to export these equipments eventually, but the actual manufacturing and the ownership of the company will be Australian. So it's going to be a real it's going to be really good for Australia, but the world is going to benefit as well from the world being a cleaner and greener place. So we've got to think of our planet. And I also want to be a scientist as well as a CEO. And I want to find solutions to problems like climate change, or how to dispose of nuclear waste from places like Fukushima. I read an article about that. So we're basically hoping to find solutions to major problems. So Japan could benefit from having help with Fukushima, because it takes a long time for that shit to become safe to dispose. So I don't know much about that shit, but I did read an article about it today, and I just thought I'd mention it, because we need scientific solutions to problems like nuclear waste. Yeah, that's what we need. So we've got to fucking find solutions to all these problems, and most of the money that I earn as a CEO will go towards humanitarian and scientific endeavours. But anyway, that looks really quite nice. I think now we can call this demo quits.